This is a look at the Muson MC1 waterproof action camera, ideal for using on a bike, on a helmet or for all sorts of outdoor activities. It arrives well presented in this retail box, inside of which is the most comprehensive kit I have ever seen supplied with an action camera. Everything is packaged into this handy travelling case, complete with webbing handle, good zips which open to reveal the best set of accessories I have ever seen included with a camera. Let's have a look at them all in turn. There are all sorts of fixtures and fittings and clips, a fitting there for bike handlebars which I'll put to use shortly, lots of other fittings. In fact, there's just absolutely everything you could ever hope to use here. And one thing you'll notice is all the fittings slot together very easily. In the lid there are even more accessories, some cable ties and straps for fixing the camera just so that if you go over a bump it doesn't fall off, some various sticky pads and brackets, a lens cleaning cloth, always very handy, the instruction manual, and some webbing ties and velcro straps. A bonus that I'm especially pleased to see is the spare battery. The battery has a good life anyway of about 90 minutes or so. It's always nice to see a spare battery included. And finally we come to the camera itself. This is the camera, which is already fitted into its waterproof housing and again complete with a bracket. It releases by lifting this clip, flipping it up, and the camera can then be removed. Really tiny camera, well made, USB charging port on the side, a slot for the micro SD card that isn't included, the power on off button and mode selection, shutter release and up and down arrows to select items from the menus. We'll come to those in a moment. This is the waterproof casing, extremely well made with a good secure clip on the top which fastens like so, and that snaps into position, but it's also easy to remove even with cold hands. Just lift it up, unleash it there and it opens. There's a good waterproof seal all the way around, and should that become damaged in any way then a spare is included. Again, I did say this was a very generous package and I meant it. All the buttons on the camera and casing are perfectly well aligned, so it can be used underwater and with cold hands, wet hands and with gloves on as well. You can see there the power button, shutter release and the up and down arrows. Just to demonstrate, I'll switch it on using the button on the front and it springs into life. You can see there my hand in front. There's a good clear display. Just focus it on the manual for example, just to give a demonstration. A good display is important because most of the time you'll be using this while on a bike or underwater and you need to be able to see exactly what you're filming. Some cameras have quite a dull display, but this one is extremely good, nice and bright. So if I wanted to start filming for example, just press the button and you'll see it springs into life. You can see visibly there's a red filming icon here, so you're in absolutely no doubt as to whether filming is taking place. And on the top, if this is on bike handlebars for example, looking down you can see the red LED flashing. A simple user manual is included which shows how to set up the camera, its various modes, what it can do and gives just general information. It does make sense and it is worth reading. It also shows how to assemble all the various parts included to help you make the most of the camera. switch on the camera via the power button on the front, and it springs into life. It automatically defaults to the video mode. You can see the icon in the top left hand corner of the screen. Press the power button on the front again and it's now in still photo mode. Press again and it's in the multi-shot mode, the burst mode. Another press and it goes into time-lapse, and finally it enters into the settings menu. From here you can browse through and adjust the settings simply by pressing the shutter release button on the top of the camera, which also acts as a confirm button. Then using the arrows on the side of the camera can scroll up and down the menus. And considering the type of camera it is, there are quite a lot of them. Quite a lot of options for customising it for taking still photos, videos, time-lapse, and using it as intended as a sports camera. The lower button on the right also acts as the Wi-Fi connection button, so the camera can be used in conjunction with the EasyCam app, so photos, video and live footage can be viewed on a smartphone or tablet. But the best way to see how good it is to pop it into its casing, fix it onto a bike and take it out and use it. The camera is now on my bike using an assortment of the accessories, and they all fit via these thumb screws, which is really useful because no screwdrivers are needed, so it's handy if any adjustments need to be made while out on the road. The camera can of course also be used outside the casing, and here's an example of video footage with audio recording to demonstrate how effective the microphone is.